Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Dato' Abang Haji Openg, the Premier of Sarawak. Thank you, everyone. Kindly be seated. Yang amat berhormat, Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Dato' Abang Haji Openg, the Premier of Sarawak, His Excellency Ambassador Edgard Kagan, US Ambassador to Malaysia, the Honourable Yang Berhormat Datuk Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Haji Hipni, Sarawak Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability. Yang berbahagia, Datuk Amar Tan Sri Dr. Haji Abdul Aziz bin Datuk Haji Hussein, Chairman of SEDC, Ms. Siobhan Das, the CEO of American Malaysian Chamber of Commerce, or AmCham, Mr. Francis Peters, Senior Commercial Officer, US Embassy Kuala Lumpur, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great honor to welcome on stage Yang Amat Berhormat, the Premier of Sarawak, to deliver his keynote address.
Thank you very much. We come here straight to work. Time is so precious. Excellency Ambassador to Malaysia, US Ambassador, Mr. Edgard Kagan, Honorable Deputy Minister, Datuk Dr. Haji Hazlan, Mr. Saban Das, CEO of the American Malaysian Chamber of Malaysia. I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Mr. Francis Chief Peters, don't blame me, I just read here. They got post office chief. Senior Commercial Officer of US Embassy, Kuala Lumpur, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you to this forum, jointly organized by the Chamber of Commerce, as well as Excellency, your embassy. Welcome to Sarawak. It is indeed an honor for me to share our views on the direction of our economy in the midst of the challenges that we are facing globally. Number one is on climate change. Number two is food security. While we are in this room, there are a group also in the other room. Because Sarawak, with the support of our various agencies, we are now getting all the experts, particularly on hydrogen, to converge in Sarawak and to share their views. And of course, their views will be incorporated and considered by the government of Sarawak in our effort to formulate policies that are in line with the current development globally. Though we are just a state within the Federation of Malaysia, we are trying our best to contribute to mankind, because we take that climate change is something which is serious. While we talk here, I think there are places facing drought, dry land. There are places having floods, and there are places also they have problems in producing food. And then even you fly, you feel a bit of fear there. You do not know where the plane is going. What happened to SQ? And lately, I understand another aircraft going to Ireland facing similar problem. And yesterday, I saw another flight having similar problem. Apparently, the computer cannot predict what's going on in our space. Otherwise, the pilot should have known what is coming. But this way, technology is being tested, whether the technology is abreast or not with the current issues we are facing. Against this background, Sarawak's economic policy is adjusted, having considered the strength that we have, and to use our strength with the available technology that will contribute, at least in small way, our effort to mitigate carbon emission. If you read the literature, what happened is, from the Industrial Revolution right to mass production, right to the construction of cities, particularly cement, bricks, they are the victim. They are the one that pollute the environment. And we see this one in big cities, not in small cities like Kuching. But then there must be an effort on our part that we have to identify the problems and find solution. Sarawak is blessed with, Sarawak is having 62% covered with forest. 62%. And 5 days ago, because Malaysia want to replant or plant trees additional 100 million up to the year 2025. Sarawak's obligation is 35 million. We have to plant trees 35 million to enhance our forest cover. And 4 days ago, I planted the 35 million. And we are 1 year advanced, 24. And this is the obligation on the part of our government, the state government. We know very well that we have to conserve our forest cover. For Malaysia, we contribute 42% to Malaysia's forest cover in order to meet the international requirement for Malaysia. Without Sarawak, I think they cannot meet that requirement. So we are contributing to it. And we want to enhance again our forest cover, where we have permanent forests. We have, we call it the natural park, and also planted forests. Planted forests must be based on circular economy. You have to manage your forest properly, where part of it become the base of biomass. And that means you regenerate biomass as a form of energy. In other words, we are committed to that. And we hope that biomass technology, including oil palm waste, where the waste can become energy, is part of our roadmap to strengthen renewable energy as a source of energy. Apart from forests, we are blessed with a lot of water. And Sarawak has a lot of rivers. You know, so some complain, you got a lot of rivers, you also got a lot of crocodiles. But we have to maintain crocodile. Don't worry, Sarawak has friendly crocodile. But the question is this, we have the rivers and then the source of water for your pump hydro and hydro energy, where you cannot go against the concept of gravity. Based on gravity concept, the water has to come down and to turn the turbine. What you need is just the water. And what we are doing here is we have to find technology. One of these is pump hydro. You pump water from our rivers and then use that rivers, to turn your turbine. And that will produce power. Of course, you have a lot of surplus water there, storage. You have to store that water. But that water can be a source of irrigation for our paddy. This is what we are doing now. It's something new. Irrigate our land, and then we produce paddy and we produce rice. At least the food security part is also embraced in our effort to provide energy. The third is we are very blessed. We got sunlight almost throughout the year, except at night. The rest is all sunlight. And this is source of your solar. The other day I was sharing with our audience the price of solar within 20 years. It has really come down within 20 years. From the first introduction of solar, it was very, very expensive. But now it's very cheap. So much so, particularly our friend from China, they are producing EV. And then, of course, the European Union want to have tariff on EV. Even with that tariff, the car is still cheap in Europe. That one I do not want to touch, very sensitive. But what I'm saying here is the technology is there. With solar, we can produce energy from our abundant sunlight. As we are in the equator, so we have plenty of sunlight. And technology is there. Apart from sunlight, we are talking about hydrogen. I was in Rotterdam. I was given the opportunity to share my views on hydrogen in Rotterdam. And last month I was in Poland. I was invited to give my views on hydrogen in Poland. And after that, they invited me also to give views in Bangkok on the future of energy for Asia. And Australia also asking me to give views in August. And Hong Kong, this morning I got a letter from Hong Kong inviting me also to give my views on the future of energy. So what I'm saying here is this, the world now is aware on the importance of energy and particularly hydrogen. And hydrogen, as you know, is the cleanest energy. And for that, about 10 years ago, I started to explore this hydrogen. I had engagement with Air Liquide just to know, the process of producing hydrogen. And upon return, I started to have a prototype of hydrogen production using Linde technology. And at that time, about 4 years ago, we started. The consumption of power to split the hydrogen and oxygen H2O, they need about 60 kilowatt hour to produce 1 kg of hydrogen. In other words, your electrolyzer or electrolysis process is very expensive. But then I compare with what happened to computer. When I was in school, you know, you use the card when you study computer. But today it's already in your hand. And the cost is very cheap as compared when we were in school. In other words, if that happens, there is an enhancement and improvement in technology. Again, the same will apply to electrolyzer. After all, electrolyzer is just a membrane to split hydrogen and oxygen. But if you can improve the membrane, perhaps with the new plate, then there's a possibility reduction in power consumption for you to produce 1 kg of hydrogen. I must share with you that I'm proud to share with you. We have done our research together with Petronas. What I did, I brought the whole set from Petronas to KUCHING. And we did our own research. Now we are producing electrolyzer consuming only 38 kilowatt, from 60 to 38. And I believe that we are going to reduce further. If the consumption of power reduced to 20 or 15, or for that matter could be 10, then hydrogen is the fuel to replace or to substitute crude or any fossil fuel-based energy. And Sarawak is going towards that. We have done it. We have reduced from 60 to 38. And the next is want to reduce 38 to 15, right up to 10. That one depends on the enhancement of the membrane. And we can work together with US, with Japan, with Korea. After all, Silicon Valley is there. It's just a matter of trying to identify the right technology to reduce the cost of conversion, and hydrogen is there. The only thing that we have advantage is water. We got a lot of water, and we have enough rainfall. In other words, once your economy is based on cheap energy, then you can fight poverty. Because technology, to me, is a means for you to fight poverty. And it is within SDG. It is within SDG to fight poverty. It must be through technology and awareness of knowledge and how you provide that energy. That is why I try to correlate between energy as well as food security. While we talk here, I think India got problem with food security, the production of rice, because of the drought, climate they are facing. The same with, to a certain extent, Vietnam and Indochina. And if that is the case, what Sarawak is going to do, our consumption of rice is 240,000 metric tons per year. I have calculated if we were to have 10,000 hectares of land, then we plant paddy, we can produce 240,000 of rice. One season, we produce 8 metric tons per hectare. In other words, the yield has to be improved, and rice is there, not only rice that we eat, perhaps you can go downstream, rice flour. And there are a lot of products that can, you produce based on feedstock of rice. Then the question of food security is being tackled while you tackle the problem of climate. So what I'm sharing here is Sarawak's economy. What we are doing at the moment is exploring technology against the background of our strength. We are very fortunate. I must say that we are very fortunate because of the water that we have, the solar system that we have, and then, of course, the stability that we have. And we try very much to maintain, Sarawak, multiracial, multi-religious. The Muslim, non-Muslim, they live like brothers. And that is what we have. And a lot of intermarriage. I share with my friends, if you want to go to Sarawak, you can have not only Sarawakian, but hybrid Sarawakian. It's hybrid between the Chinese and the Malay, between the Malay and the Iban, Vidayo, intermarriage. And one family, you have Christian, you have Islam, and they eat together. And that is why we got no problem on this religious problem here. So far, so good. I mean, you can see what's going on, Even we say to the Chinese, we are just like family. We go together, we go to school together, we eat together, we drink together, we try to find girlfriend or two together. I mean, that is the culture that Sarawak has, and we are able to preserve that culture. That's why there are certain elements we say, no. That is yours, not ours. Let us preserve our own culture. And then our priority is to give good life to people. And some people are quite envious with Sarawak because we have national language as well as English. In Sarawak's Legislative Assembly, our small parliament, we use English. And my friend from Venezuela, Malaysia, you still use English? This is colonial language. Then I said, no, it is international language. You go to US, you have to use English. And then you go to any part of the world, you use English. Even you go to France, also you use English. Even though the French culture. I don't want to, please don't quote me. Otherwise I cannot go to France. But the question is this is international language, and we are promoting, English at the same time while we command our national language. And we have 5 international schools here, built by the state government. And this international school is free for B40. We give them free. They don't have to pay. In Kuala Lumpur, if you go to international school, at least one semester is 20,000 or 30,000. Then the fishermen cannot send their son to this international school. But Sarawak, we give free for them because we see that education is important. And we have our own, Sarawak own universities. We work together. Australian, we got 2 universities here, Curtin and Swinburne. The asset is owned by Sarawak. The program is Australia. So that's where we work. And of course, we have our own national school. In other words, we are also preparing Sarawakian so that they are exposed and they can learn new technology. And one university, I just introduced, the chairman is here. Tansi Aziz is the chairman of this university, ICAT University. I'm I asked him to set up a new faculty, aerospace faculty, because you're talking about data. You're talking about big data. Big data is stored in the cloud. And then, as you know, you have to know satellite, where data is stored in satellite and beam back to the user for commercial, not military, but commercial. Military, I leave to the military people. But what I'm saying here is that this is the technology that we need. And with that sort of technology and the energy that you have, we can move forward. I hope your presence here in Sarawak will give you certain input. Because a lot of people, they do not know where Sarawak is. They say, oh, Sarawak, the people are still staying top of the trees. But now we have convention center, not trees. So, this is the perception, and it's easy for us Sarawakian to convince people. But thank you very much, Ambassador, for bringing them here. At least they know where is Sarawak, where is Borneo Convention Center, where is Borneo, and then the strategies and policies that we have framed or formulated, not only for Sarawakian, not only for Malaysian, but for mankind at large. Because if the atmosphere is polluted, you inhale polluted oxygen. That will affect your health. At the end of the day, it may affect your lifestyle. With that, once again, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best in this forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Amat Berhormat, for sharing with us your words of wisdom and your vision for Sarawak, both light-hearted and at the same time very forward-looking. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, please give a round of applause for the Premier of Sarawak. So as we mentioned at the start of the event today, the way the US-Malaysia Clean Tech Forum is designed is to have two breakout sessions to focus on two specific key areas. One on green hydrogen, which we'll be discussing in this room, and another on carbon capture and storage, which the discussion will take place in room 6, right next door. All right. So as we break up into these two separate sessions, we invite those of you who have registered for panel session panel session A, which is carbon capture and storage, right, to kindly adjourn to meeting room 6. And for those of you who've registered for panel B, which is green hydrogen, kindly stay put, and we will move into our panel discussions briefly. Right. So some of you have been here since the start of the week, right, to attending the Asia Pacific Green Hydrogen Forum, right? And as you can see, as you may have heard earlier in the week, green hydrogen is a huge priority for Sarawak. So which is why we wanted to engage in this discussion as well, lending a US perspective to how US industry as well as US government can play a role in Sarawak's vision for its green hydrogen economy. Right? So our next panel is on green hydrogen, and I would like to invite the moderator for this panel, Dato' Amy Morris, the Executive Chair of SIPARC, up on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Dato' Amy Morris. And we're also blessed to have on this panel some very key, both senior level experts. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Robert Hardin, Chief Executive Officer of SEDC Energy. Mr. Ramani Velu, President of Southeast Asia for Air Products. Insigne James Ng, Group Chief Operating Officer of Sarawak Energy. And Mr. Adam Bacon, Vice President Asia of Bloom Energy. And once again, I'd like to remind the audience that there's a program booklet on your table together with a QR code you may scan to get a better look at our speakers' biographies. All right? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, over to you, Dr. Amy.